An encounter with Fred Swanica. He's from Ghana. He's the founder of the African Leadership University with the aim of training 3 million people by 2060 in 25 campuses across Africa. And the first campus opened in Mauritius last year in the business park of Beauplan.
We need innovators to create new businesses and to come up with solutions to many of our challenges in healthcare and education and so forth. And so could we create a university that would identify the most talented young people in Africa and develop those talents to become the change makers of the continent, to become the leaders, to become the entrepreneurs who can create the jobs that we need and who can drive this continent to success.
Why did you choose Mauritius?
We chose Mauritius because we were very inspired by the country's vision to be an education hub for the continent. We like the fact that it's safe, and when parents are sending their children away to school, they want to know that they'll be in a safe environment. We also like the fact that it's got good infrastructure, with good healthcare and good internet access and those kind of things that you need to have a modern 21st century education. It has a lot of those assets here. And then finally, we had very outstanding support from the Board of Investment in Mauritius that really helped to facilitate a lot of things for us as we were looking to enter the country. So all of that told us that this is a good place to invest, and it's a beautiful place as well. And so we imagine that parents and students from all across Africa would want to come and study here.
So how much have you invested in this project, and where did the funding come from?
Well, we are right now building the first phase of our campus, which is it's a $14 million investment. And prior to that, we've invested about $23 million so far to develop the curriculum and set up have our first class of students and hiring the first faculty and so forth. We started the project 3 years ago with just 5 staff. And last year, when we moved to Mauritius, we had 60 staff. And now we have 120, including about 20 Mauritians who have joined our team since we started. So it's growing very fast. We started last year with just 60 students initially, and now we have about 300 students from all across Africa, and including students from Taiwan and Netherlands and the USA as well who are coming to study here.
And where did funding come from?
The funding has come from a group of investors all around the world. Most of our money has come from Silicon Valley investors. So our biggest investor is Pierre Omidyar, who's one of the founders of eBay. We also have another investor who, his name is Bob King, who was one of the early investors in Baidu, which is the Chinese version of Google. Another one of our investors was the early investor in Facebook as well. So many people who are very familiar with innovation, and they have driven the success of some of the most innovative and successful companies in the world, see that this organization has the potential to really transform Africa, and they've decided that they want to back us to make it happen.
You have said training 3 million people in Africa by 2060. Is this achievable, and how are you going to achieve it?
It's absolutely achievable. Across Africa today, every year, about 24 to 30 million students graduate from high schools. And the universities today can only take about 4 million of them. So there's a massive shortage of tertiary education in Africa.
So Elizabeth, first tell us, how did you learn about the ALU?
I first learned about ALU through an email sent to me after I had applied to the African Leadership Academy in South Africa. Through the email, I was let to know that the African Leadership University was in Mauritius, and the application was based on your leadership skills and exactly how you are in class, but not only in class, but in reality.
After graduating from here, what do you intend to do?
After graduating from here, I intend to work on the educational system in Africa. I want to go back to my home country and improve the educational system just like how the African Leadership University has done. I got really empowered about what Fred Swanica has been doing in terms of leadership in education, and I want to do that back home as well.
Well, I'm studying computer science and I'm looking to go into entrepreneurship after I clear my studies here, and hopefully create a company that provides electricity at cheap rates to lower and middle and lower income earning Africans, building up on innovations of mine that I did from when I was in primary school and high school. So that's my overall goal after graduating from ALU.
We estimate that just to catch up to the level of tertiary enrollment that you see in India, we would need to build about 130 universities in Africa every year, which is the same size as Harvard University. So there's a massive need. There's an unlimited demand for tertiary education. And we have developed a model that allows us to grow quite fast, but yet maintain the quality of what we're doing. So we're establishing universities all across Africa. We have a campus in Rwanda already. Over the next few years, we are going to be opening several campuses across many cities across the continent. And that's how we're going to be educating. Our goal is to educate 250,000 at a time. And with that, if you spread out over 50 years, we get to our goal of 3 million.